Morning to all the students. I'm gonna start with a test of a 1954. Talk about the Cross-Weber strength test. The best part is that when Cross-Weber started or developed the test, they actually created or designed this test for checking up the for diagnosis and treatment of low back pain, because it said that most of the low back pains are because of the lack of strength of the muscles. Yeah, so this was the basic purpose of initiating with this test, developing and designing the test in 1954 to check the back pain. And for the back pain, because back pain is mostly associated with the strength of the muscles, so few six test items were selected. Six test item, and when you see all the six test items, that is related to and that revolves around the muscles which are associated with the low back pain. Yeah, so this test surely will not include any of the motor fitness component, and it's interesting to understand this. Let's visit the six items. But before we discuss about the six item, the this test has a very important relevance from the American context, because this test, which was initially designed for the clinical purpose for testing, identifying the lower back pain issues and all, this test got popular because it was easy to perform. If you see, if you go through the test item, you'll say that for as an administration purpose, these tests are very easier and it does not need any equipment. So this test became popular, and these six test items were actually done. There was a comparison study between the Europe and United States. In Europe, Italy, Swiss, and Australian students were 3,000, around about approx 3,000 students were um, used for testing. This test was implemented, applied, and whereas in American population, round about 4,500 American population was tested. So the interesting part was that when the comparison was done between between the European and American population, round about 58 approximately percentage of US children could not qualify. It became a matter of concern, a national concern, even at the time. Eisenhower, who was the president of United States of America, when he read about this performance, the standards of his American population among the children, the state of the fitness in terms of strength, he was also concerned. And this test, the Cross-Weber test, became the base on which uh, the president of United States of America, Eisenhower, formed the President's Council of Physical Fitness and Sports. And dear students, it's important aspect for you. Anyone preparing for the competitive exams and otherwise also. Most of you might have heard about the youth fitness test. Our youth fitness test, which was designed first in 1957. Okay, this is the council which developed that offer fitness test. So the six items is in front of your screen. So before getting into the detail of the each test, let me just focus on what is SOYAS, and it will give a lot of clarity to you. SOYAS muscle, as you see in this picture, okay, if you see in this picture, SOYAS muscle is a muscle which is located at the lumbar region. Lumbar means lower back. L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. Okay. Yeah, this is the lumbar region where the psoas muscle is located, and this goes uh, from the lumbar region till the pelvic. Okay, this is the muscle which starts from the lumbar region till the pelvic, and this is the muscle which is maximal use for the flexion of the hip muscle. Let's now move on to test item number one. As I just mentioned, it is about the strength of abdomen plus psoas muscle. Yeah, so it is strength of abdomen including the psoas muscle. Because it is including the psoas muscle, it is the test item is one straight leg sit-ups. One straight leg sit-up. Only one. I'm again highlighting that only one single straight leg sit-up. If the participant, the child is not able to do it, unsuccessful, 0 point. If able to do it successfully, 10 point. That's enough. Okay, no second attempt. Now, test item number two, same process, same protocol, because this is to test the strength of abdominal muscle without or minus the psoas muscle. So the test item is one, that is single bent knee sit up. If successful, 2 points. If not successful, 0 point. That's it. Okay. I think now you're able to understand the difference between the two tests. Why it is bent knee and why it is straight leg sit ups, because of the psoas muscle. Item number three. Test item number three is strength of psoas. Strength of psoas and lower abdomen. So for this, you have to lay down in supine position. When you say supine position, that is onto with your spine onto the floor, back onto the floor, facing upwards. Yeah, you have to raise the leg. You have to raise the leg to 10 inches. Raise the leg to 10 inches. Hold on to 10 seconds. Hold it on for 10 seconds. Okay, and after 10 seconds, for every 1 second, for every extra 1 second, you get 1 point. So after minimal is 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, for every second, you get 1 point. So on 11th point, you get 1 point. On 12th point, 12th second, you get 2 point. On 13th second, you get 3 point. Similarly, once you do it 20th second, you get 10 points. Okay, so this is how you do the scoring. I think you're finding it very interesting, and you can see how simply it has been designed with by keeping the administration processes at the least minimal. That is why this test became very popular. And this was the strength of the psoas and the lower abdomen. I think everyone understands raising the leg while in a supine position is for the lower abdomen, and strength of upper back. Now, this test is you need to get into the prone position, stomach onto the floor, that means, and raise the upper body up for 10 seconds. Raise the upper body for 10 seconds, that is the face, neck, and the shoulder. Raise the neck and the shoulders for 10 seconds, and after 10 seconds, for every second, you get 1 point. Okay, and maximal the score can be of 10. That is on the 20th second, you can score 10 points. So again, another simple test for upper back muscle. Now, upper back muscle, after upper back muscle, the next item will be, and it has to be lower back muscle. So same position, same prone position. With the same prone position, instead of upper back, legs has to be raised. Legs has to be raised for 10 inches, and minimal duration is 10 seconds. For every another second, you get 1 point till maximal 10 points. So that means on the 20th second, you can score complete 10 points. So this completes the major five items, and the sixth item, as I just mentioned in the beginning, is about the standing floor touch test. This is to test the trunk flexibility and hamstring strength. Okay, strength spell mistake is there. I apologize for that. To test the trunk flexibility and hamstring strength, you ask the subject or the participant or the child to stand straight and bend forward and try to touch the hand onto the floor. You have to maintain the position for 3 seconds. Now, interesting. The question is how you do the scoring. Okay, because most of the time you will not be able to touch the floor, but it is not at all a problem. Try to bend down as much as possible. Okay, and hold it on for 3 seconds. Now, how the scoring is done? It's interesting. If if you you the distance if the distance between the hand and the floor is more than 8 inches, you fail, you score 0. And if the distance is 8 inches, you get, at least you are able to reach with the 8-inch distance, you get 1 point. And if the distance is much lower, between 6 to 8 inches, you get 2 points. And if you're able to bend forward much and the gap between the floor and the hand is much lesser, that is only between 4 to 6 inches, you get 3 points. And if the distance is much lower, only between hand and the floor, the distance is between 4 to 3 inches, you get 4. And if it is reduced further, between 3 to 2 inches, you get 5. And it's even you are able to bend further and reduce the distance and hold on to 3 seconds between 1 to 2 inches, you get 6. And if the difference between the hand and the floor is less than 1 inches, you get 7. Yeah. And if you're able to hold only for 1 second, if you're able to hold only for 1 second, okay, up to 1 second, you get 8 points. And if you're able to hold it for 2 seconds, okay, you get 9 points. It's a spelling error here. And if you're able to hold it for 3 seconds, you get complete 10 points. So holding it for distance less than 1 inches and holding it for 3 seconds, you get 10 complete points. So this is how the whole the test is designed. And I'll again take you back to the uh, crossover strength test, which was designed in 1954. And these are the 6 items. Once again, have a look at the 6 item, how easy it has been designed administratively. It's the most simplest test to check the strength, especially of the core. And even today, this test is a good benchmark if you want to see the basic minimal strength, which can give you a hint about the probability and issues concerning with the back pain. So again, this is a fitness test, not at all a motor fitness test. It does not have the components of any motor fitness test component. So it's just revolving around the core strength, minimal core strength, minimal. Okay, that is why you see that the sit-ups for the test for abdominal and psoas is only one straight leg sit-ups. Okay, for abdominal without psoas, it is one bent knee sit-up. For the psoas and lower, it is uh, lying down on the back, that is supine position, and raising the leg. Okay, for 10 seconds to 10 inches. And for the upper back, it is raising the upper back, that is shoulder and the neck, for 10 seconds. And for the lower back, raising the leg in the prone position for 10 inches, for keeping it for minimal 10 seconds. And further, getting one additional point for each extra second. And the final test item is for the trunk flexibility and hamstring component. Before I move on to the next test, the house is open for discussion.